Hey everyone! Yes, it is your crazy AZ tutor that is trying to change the world one math problem at a time. I am your lovely host, Audrey Codner, the owner of ACG Math Tutoring, and I'm coming to you live and direct at 11:07 Eastern Standard Time because this chick is cray and cray. Here we go. So, what we're going to be learning today, we're going to be going back into a little bit of algebra and trying to help some of these kids. Some are trying to help everyone else is trying to get their finals together, get a little bit with the GED, a little bit with the ASVAB. You know, if you know someone that is a little stuck with this, especially the algebra piece, go ahead, message them, send the live, share it. Because your girl is going to be breaking stuff down. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, Audrey, what is an absolute value? Okay, is it something that was made up by somebody back in the day that had no time on their hands? Probably. But an absolute value, the reason why it's always positive. So if I say the absolute value of -5, they always say, okay, it's always positive. Oh, that's easy, it's positive 5. If I want to say the absolute value of 5, that's also going to be 5. But no one has really explained to you why it's 5. Well, let me tell you. The reason why we have absolute values, it's all based off of distance. We want to know how far apart something is away from 0. So I could have 5 over here. I could be 5 units over here. But no matter what, let me change my colors here. No matter what, I am 5 units away from 0. Regardless if I'm in the positive direction or in the negative direction. I am still 5 units away from 0. Okay, that's why absolute values are positive. It's always directive of how far away you are from 0. Okay, so that's why it's positive or that's why it's negative. So now, if we want to take it to the next level into solving it, okay, we really have to put into play the positive and the negatives of that value. All right, so let me see if I can explain it as clearly as I can. So, first example. We have the absolute value of x minus 5 equals 9. So we want to know, what is that number that is going to be inside this absolute value that's going to make this equation true? So since we know absolute value is the distance away from 0, we got the positive sides and we got the negative sides. So the first time when I'm trying to solve this, I'm going to write what I see without the absolute value. So that's going to be x minus 5 equals 9. But the second equation I'm going to see needs to represent the negative side. Now here's the thing. When you write it, whatever's inside the absolute value stays exactly the same. Let me change colors here. I don't know why red has to be negative, but here we go. So you have x minus 5, but in order to represent the negative 9. Okay, so you have 2 equations. Okay, one is going to be representing the positive. Whatever you see, just write it down without the absolute value sign. And the other one, you're going to be representing the negative. Now let's solve them together in unity. So I know here, I'm going to add 5 on both sides, which gives me a lovely 14. So x equals 14. Then over here, again, we add the 5. But it's not going to equal 14 because that 9 is not a positive 9. It's a negative 9. So I owe somebody $9. I paid them 5. Guess what? I still owe them $4. And there's my 2 solutions. Hello, everyone. All right. Good. So we got a -4. Yes. All right. So when you're doing your absolute values and you're solving, please make sure that you're representing both the positive and the negative. Now, here's a smart little shortcut. If they give you, I'm going to put it off to the side here. If they give you, let's say, absolute value of x plus 7 is equal to -11. Okay? Absolute value of x plus 7 is equal to -11. I know the right thing. You're going to be like, oh, okay, I'll do the positive and I'll do the negative. Stop. Okay? Here's the problem. We're starting off with a negative number. You cannot have an absolute value equal a negative number. Remember, we can't have negative distance. We can walk in the negative direction, but we cannot say, oh, I walked negative feet. Say what? This is bizarre world? What are we doing? Okay? You probably walked backwards, but you still walked 11 steps. So anytime it starts off right away with a negative, this is automatically no solution. Automatically, right from the jump. So if it starts with a negative number, no solution. Okay? Are we clear with that part? Okay? We definitely want to make sure we get that. So do every absolute value has 2 solutions? Yes. They always have one is a positive, one's a negative, because it is your distance away from 0. You're going 5 units in the positive direction, and then you have 5 units in the negative direction, but you're still taking up 5 units. Okay? Yep, and your absolute value is always going to be positive. Okay? Even though you're going in the negative direction, you're still taking 5 steps. Okay? You're still 5 houses away from your friend's house. Okay? All right? I know, Kathy, trust me. It has been a day times 12. But do what you got to do to help people out. All right, so here we go. So if we have, let's try this one. So if we have the absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 23. Let me see if I can brighten my light up a little bit. Forgot I turned it down. There we go. Now we're looking like we know how to turn some light up in here. Brighten it up. Okay. No way we're learning this today. Oh, wow. Good. Yes. All right. So take a look. Is it equal to a positive number? Yes. Hallelujah. Let us now think about our 2 equations. The first time you write what you see. So I have 2x minus 1 equals 23. So when I say write what you see, I mean exactly what you see minus the absolute values. Now, the second equation, you're going to write what you see, which is my 2x minus 1 equals, but it's going to equal the negative 23. So the difference between what I just said about that negative 1 and this negative 23 is because I am creating that negative. We didn't start off with a negative. If we start off with a negative number, undefined, okay? But right now we're talking about what's going to make our positive and our negative of our absolute value. All right, so here we go. I'm seeing 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1. No, you're just in time. No, I'm majorly late. Okay, so Carlos is telling me 12 and negative 1. Seeing this after the math. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Because knowing me, I'm seeing double. So who knows what's going to be happening here. All right, so we're solving. So I'm adding 1 to both sides. I'm going to try to do one at a time. Yeah. So negative 1, positive 1 cancels out because I don't need that 0 because I still have that 2x. So 23 plus 1 gives me 24. All right. Dividing both sides by our 2, we have x is equal to 12. So that's 1, our solutions. So that means if I plug that 12 back in for the x, 2 times 12 gives me 24, minus 1 gives me 23, and the absolute value of 23 is 23. So bam, that works. Okay, same thing is going to happen over here. So I'm going to add 1 on both sides. 1's cancel out on the left-hand side. Now I still got 2x is equal to negative 23 plus 1. So that gives me a negative 22. Divide both sides by 2. And x will equal negative 11. All right. Okay. All right, how are we feeling? Oh, who's with the follow? Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still trying to figure out what this whole club thing is. I'm still learning. I just started doing these lives since February. And yeah, one day I'm actually going to have a moment to sit down and figure out what all these lovely little hearts are for, which I greatly appreciate. All right. So if you're feeling pretty good, go ahead and keep tapping. And what I'm going to do, what's this? Dream Clause. I always felt dumb in math. Thanks for this. No, you shouldn't feel dumb in math. Oh, it breaks my heart when you guys say stuff like this. But at the same time, I get it because I was the same way. But I thought that, it was just me. But apparently it's not. You just needed someone to break these things down. You got this. And it's hard to do it when you're in a classroom of 36, 40 kids, It's hard for you to get all that attention that you need. All right, so let me give you guys one more. Let me see if I can extend it a little bit. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to make myself some room. Okay, put little boxes in there. All right, so I'm going to shift this over, and I'm going to talk about the absolute value of, let's say, x plus 6. Okay, plus 3 equals 16. Okay. I would say, what would you do if you see something like that? And I know some of you guys I would cry. Okay, after the tears, give you 2 minutes. All right, what would you do with that one? Yes, we're doing absolute values. I'm in the 11th grade and my math understandings are 6th grade. Okay, so if anything, yes, we definitely want to isolate the absolute value. Excellent job. All right, that's the first thing. Just like our goal is to basically get our variable by itself. Now, right now you're in the 11th grade and you're doing 6th grade work. Guess what? You're going to want to keep practicing and you're going to want to improve. And eventually you are going to grow. Okay? So don't let anyone sit there and tell you, oh, you're at 6th grade level math. No, you do what you need to do because everyone learns at different rates and at different times. Hell, this whole thing called math didn't click for me until I got to the rightful age of 25. Oh, I used to be terrible at math. Sucked. Fractions? Nope. Word problems? Hell no. Not doing that. Trust me, I get it. All right? So everyone grows at different times, and that's perfectly fine. All right? So. Donald. Oh, Lord, what did I just stumble into? So we're going to do absolute values. It's okay. All right. So first thing that we're going to do, and I see a couple people with it and also some answers, which is lovely. We want to isolate the absolute value first. Okay. So what is messing that up is this plus 3. So then I want to subtract 3 on both sides of the equal sign. Okay. These 3's will cancel out. I could write a 0, but I don't need it because I still have my absolute value to bring down. So I got my absolute value of x plus 6. And this time it's going to equal 13. So now we have our absolute value and it's equal to a positive number. So like we all know, absolute values has 2 solutions, basically. One dealing with the positive version of the number, one dealing with the negative version of the number. So the first equation you're going to write is write what you see without the absolute value. So you have your x plus 6 is equal to 13. The other equation that you're going to write is what you see, but we need the negative version of that 13. So that is your x plus 6 equals negative 13. Then what you do from here, we're just going to solve for x. Okay? So I'm seeing a combination of 7 and negative 25. I'm seeing 7 and negative 19. I moved the 3 and was lost. Okay, so when you subtract the 3, combine it. 16 minus 3, that's where the 13 comes down. So once the 13 is here, move down your absolute value. And now we're going to write our 2 equations. The first equation, write down what you see. Okay, so you got x minus 6 is equal to 13. So yes, we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. 6's will cancel out, leaving me with x equals. And then 13 minus 6 does give me my 7. All right. Now this is the part that I'm seeing different numbers. I'm seeing 19s, I'm seeing 25s, I'm seeing 7s, I'm seeing a whole lot of stuff. So what's happening is, here I go. I have a positive 6. I got to do the opposite so I can isolate that variable. So I want to subtract 6 on both sides. So when I do that, I get x equals. Now, I have a negative and a negative. When I have two negatives, I'm basically adding them together. Think about debt, right? I owed someone $13. For some weird reason, they loaned me another $6. So that means now I owe them negative $19 total. Okay? Only when the signs are opposite, that's when you subtract. When the signs are exactly the same, both are negatives, both are positive, that's when you add them. Okay? No, two negatives does not equal positive because you're not multiplying, Paula. Okay? If you're multiplying, yes, two negatives will give me a positive. Okay? I know, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules. So we have two answers, which is 7 and negative 19. That will give us our original, make this original equation into a true statement. Okay. All right. So Paula, an absolute value is basically the distance away from zero. Absolute values are always going to be a positive number because the distance away from zero is always positive. Okay. Anything to help starters? What do you mean, anything to help starters? I'm just jumping into a conversation. Did I miss something in the beginning? You're welcome, Paula. Not a problem. All right, thank you. Guadalupe, what are you saying? Anything to help starters? Starters with absolute values or just math in general? Okay. All right. Is this algebra? Yes, it is. Melissa, yes, it is. Okay. All right. Math rules, positive and negatives. Yes. Yes. It's just a matter of really understanding and practice. Okay, I mean to learn from the beginning how to solve algebra problem. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be in the beginning. Look at Pog. Look at you. Yes, you can buy my math notebooks, and I'm thinking about during the summer really starting a almost like a new book and just have people, if they want to come in. And I'm going to actually teach right from the very beginning because I think going into community college, like right now, haven't been in school for many years, that you need something to jumpstart before you do that. So I'm really coming across a course that I'm about to do, but I'm going to do it live. Live and direct. All right. Okay, would you like another one of these before I move to inequalities? Grade level, I mean, it could be 8th grade, it could be Algebra 1, it could be, some reminder of Algebra 2, like early first quarter type thing. I am thinking about starting it at the end of this month, actually around, June 1st. Yeah, I'm thinking about starting June 1st. Algebra 101. I have a final Friday. Okay. All right. You're 47. Excellent. Well, good job. All right. How would my class work? I'm still figuring it out. Oh, thank you. All right. I'm seeing like a yes. All right, let me put another one up here before we get to inequalities. So let me get here. Absolute value of 2x plus 5 and then plus 8 equals 23. I know, I'm obsessed with 23 today. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I want Jordan to come back. No, I'm just kidding. Those were the days when every time someone mentions 23, they automatically think of Michael Jordan. All right. Oh, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, they still teach algebra. I know. Oh, well, thank you. For helping me a ton for my final. Thank you so much. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, he is. Definitely. Hands down, Donald. Hands down. I was watching some of his older stuff the other day. It was like on TV, on cable. I was like, wow. Right? I wonder what he's doing now. I know he's playing golf and just living life. But, you know, I guess we gotta do that. Oh, thank you for the gifts, Donald. Oh, goodness. All right. So, NASCAR? Oh, yeah. Thanks to his mama. She made sure. Okay, I want him to get all the endorsements. I want this. I want future stuff. Anything. I want the logo. You using his image. All that. Everything before NIL. I'm telling you. Ah, she's doing good. Thanks for asking. All right. Yes. Okay. First thing, let's subtract 8 on both sides. Good. Isolate that. So that means we have the absolute value of 2x plus 5 equals, what's 23 minus 8? My brain. I couldn't. Acetate. That's what it is. I was trying to tell this kid about an acetate and I could not remember what the word acetate was. I was like, this boundary line. There has a word and I just cannot remember it. All right, I gotta limit how many tutoring sessions I can do because that is cray. All right, thank you everyone for the help. Thank you, I appreciate you. All right, so now we have a positive number here. So let's split it up. So we have 2x plus 5 is equal to 15. And the other one is 2x plus 5. You do not change any of the signage in between the absolute values. Okay? I have to be stern about that. This doesn't change. What changes to a negative is your 15 or whatever is the constant outside the equal sign. Okay? Because they will definitely have that as one of the answer choices for any assessment. It doesn't even matter. Okay? All right. So, what do I get for my first equation? What do I get as a result? I did. Thank you. I told you it's going to be one of those nights, Amelia. Thank you so much. All right, so I have 8.5, I have 10s, I have 6. Subtracting the 5, I have 10, I have 5, I have 10. All right, I have too much of a mixture. So if I subtract the 5 on both sides, the 5s cancel out, leaving me with 2x is equal to 10. So if I divide both sides by 2, see if you can get that last part. So x is equal to 5. Okay. All right, so we all see, like, yes, we probably got 10 for this part, but then after you divide by 2, your final answer for this part is going to be 5. Good. All right, excellent. So now, what do we get on the other side, though? I can't subtract negatives in my head. Yeah, sometimes it does that. Okay, so Caddy thinks it's 10. Nicole thinks it's negative 10. This is a tutoring session? I mean, not really. I'm just helping people right now. I know, it's almost midnight. Like, what am I doing? late night. But let me stop for a second. What are you guys doing? I know my insanity level. Yes. And it's usually on things that my clients are usually struggling with, or they brought to my attention that they needed refresher. And I'm like, oh, this will be something cool for, you guys, because I know they're not the only ones that are doing absolute values. So I bring it to you guys just to help out. All right. So yes, I see subtracting the 5 on both sides. But it's not going to give me the same answer on the other side because my 15 was negative. So that will give me a negative 20, which divides 2 on both sides. So that gives me x is equal to negative 10. Okay. Oh, thank you, Pop. All right. Okay. Big MVP Blue. I haven't seen that name in a minute. How are you doing? All right. All right. Thank you, Louie. Brain capacity. Who knows what's going to happen on here? All right. So I think, this is just me, I think you guys are okay with equations. Okay? Go ahead, if you get a chance, please like it, share the lives. Oh, thank you for the crane. Appreciate it. If you would love gifts, I don't like to beg for it. If you feel inspired to give the likes, you like what's going on here, you find this helpful, reach out, do all that. We have another success story. She's not here because I came on too late. But we have another success story of a person that came in, needed some help with ASVAB. Again, just helped her with one day. She told me all she needed was a couple of items and she was fine. But you know me, I like to give a little bit extra. I'm like, oh, okay, you're fine with that? All right, well then let me see how you can do this problem. And she was like, And then I'm like, all right, well, let's tweak it. Let's think about this. Because when you're doing ASVAB, GED, ACCUPLACER, any of those SATs, ACTs type of testing, or even something for the apprenticeship, let me tell you guys, the test, how you take those tests is different from how you take a test in a regular classroom. They don't care if you finish at the very end of the problem. If you know that your answer is A, bubble it, click it, and then move on, okay? All right, so it's different. It's a different way of testing your skill. They're using this to basically weed out those that are not going to be on top of their game. Okay, this is one of the ways that they do it. Okay, all right, same thing with community colleges when you have your ACCUPLACER. There is a lot, and I do mean a lot of students in those intermediate algebra courses, but I still believe that if they had a course for those that were out of school for 5 years plus, have a course that goes a little bit slower with details, not 10 weeks. You can't learn all of algebra in 10 weeks. And be able to do that as a refresher, then get into the coursework. But the reason why they're not going to do that, because they will lose money. They know that a good 75 to 80% of people who start taking classes, especially after the new year, they know a lot of you guys are going to drop out. All right. So I'm here to show you that you don't have to drop out. You can do math. All right. Oh, celebration. Congratulations. Okay. We have a person that passed their algebra I can't even say algebra final exam today. Congrats. Good job. Hello, Holly. How are you? Okay. Logs, expanding and condensing. Oh yeah, I did that already. If anything, you can definitely go to my YouTube channel. As soon as I move a paper, everything gets crazy. All right. If you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of my lives that I do here on TikTok are on my YouTube channel. Okay, it's clearly marked as a playlist, saying YouTube or no TikTok lives. Okay, so this live is going to take me some time, to upload because sometimes it gets crazy at nights. All right, so Audrey Codner, ACG Math Tutoring. Go ahead and subscribe there. And if anything should ever happen to you, to TikTok, that's where I'm going to be. All right. Yes. Okay. So now, as we go on, we're going to do inequalities. Okay. And everybody's like, "Ooh, that's going to be hard." I'm like, nope, 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 nope. It's not. So if I go with my example, so I'm going to do the absolute value of x plus 3. Ooh, that plus was a little crazy. All right, less than 18. Okay. So the absolute value of x plus 3 less than 18. So now, yeah, no problem. Now, we're dealing with inequalities, but the process is still the same with one little tweak. So we are still going to have two equations. Okay, the first equation we're going to write down exactly what we see without the absolute value. Okay, so far very similar. Instead of an equal sign, we're using a less than symbol. But the other equation, this is where the little tweak comes in. Again, what's inside the absolute value stays exactly the same. But instead of less than 18, we're going to flip it to greater than negative 18. Okay? So that's the difference. The first inequality you're going to write down, you write down exactly what you see. X plus 3 less than 18. Everything except for the absolute value sign. For the other one, we're still going to keep that x plus 3, but instead of a less than, it's going to be a greater than, and instead of a positive 18, it's going to be a negative 18. This only occurs when you're dealing with inequalities. Okay. Hello, Pamela. How are you? Nurse C, yes, inequalities. Yes, yes, yes. This is what we're doing. So, over here, let me change from my pen. So, we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. So now we have x is less than, 15. All right, playing devil's advocate here. When does the inequality sign change direction? Let's see how many of you guys remember. And if you don't remember, just sit and wait. Someone probably does. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely fast paced. Yes, good, Lo. Good. With a negative. Yep, multiply by a -1. Now, here's my other thing. When you multiply or divide, that also works if you're dividing by a negative number, All right, so when there's a negative coefficient, so when you get to roughly this last part, sometimes that's when they stick it in there, that anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, the direction of the inequality changes. Excellent job. Look at all these brainiacs on here. Good job. Good job. Nice, Nicole. Here we go. So we got -3. We're subtracting 3 on both sides. The 3's will cancel out on the left-hand side, and I still have my x. But this time it's going to be greater than what? Good, Hope. Thank you. Okay, Nicole, don't forget your signage. Okay, there you go. All right. So you owe $18. No problem. No apologies. Negative 18 minus 3. Since both of the signs are negative, we're going to keep that negative sign. But then we're going to add the numbers together. So we got our 21. All right. Okay. So this is basically how you're doing it. That's it. Nothing too crazy. So let me see if I can advance up just a lot. No, just a little bit. What happens if... all right, let's see if I can do this. Okay, so we have... yeah, we can do this. So negative 3, absolute value of 4 plus x, okay, plus 2 is less than or equal to 11. And these are my absolute symbols, so we can tell the difference. Okay. No, give it a try. Let's see what we got. You're stumped? Don't let this extra negative 3 fool you. What would you do first? Besides there you go, Lo. Will help out. There you go. Not add it. Okay, not yet. Not yet. Okay. Yes, there you go, Dr. J. Oh, Dr. J. Yeah, I wouldn't distribute because this is an absolute value, not a parenthesis. Okay. You're saying no solutions? There is something going on there. Okay, something's going on. Okay. First step. Like you said, we need to get rid of this 2. So let's subtract that 2 on both sides. Okay, so when we do that, they cancel. Then what comes down is negative 3, our absolute value of 4 plus x, which is less than or equal to 9. Okay. All right. Now, Lo, this is what we're going to do. Yes. We're going to divide. Okay. All right. We're going to divide that negative 3 on both sides. Okay. We're going to divide that negative 3 on both sides. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 will cancel out, but leave me with the absolute value of 4 plus x. Now, what happens? There you go, Andy. Thank you. Why not add? What do you mean, the 2? Why not add? Add the like terms. Okay, which like terms? The negative 3. Well, -3 is multiplying to that absolute value. If you notice, in between the -3 and the absolute value, there isn't a plus or minus sign. So since there's not a plus or minus sign, that means multiplication. Okay? So you want to do the inverse, but first we have to isolate all this. It's like -3, you have 4 plus x, that's in the VIP room of the club. -3 is trying to get in and infiltrate in here. Then +2 is trying to also get in from the other side. So let's release this person by treating them very negatively. And then this person, we need to divide them out of our lives. So since we're dividing by a -3, your inequality sign has to flip. I think someone mentioned that earlier. Let me give credit's due. I know Nicole said it and Andy Mapp said it. Okay? So now we got 9 divided by -3. What's 9 divided by -3? I'm sorry to insult your intelligence. Just work with me here. Okay. All right. Got our -3s. Good. -3. Good, Nicole. Good, Brian. Okay. What do you notice? Someone mentioned it earlier, actually. Let me give credit's due. Teens, tweens, and self. Of course, I can't see your whole name. Self-esteem. Okay. Oh, look at you sending clams. Thank you. Yes. So our absolute values have to be equal to a positive, or somewhat inequality, to a positive number. So just like teens, tweens, and everything in between said, this is a no solution. It's almost like doing a full page of math just for your answer to equal 0. Or 1. I know. Like, but this is not bad. Trust me, I've had classes where I was like, and I'm taking the derivative and I'm doing this and I'm breaking it all down. And your answer is like 1. Like, what? By negative, the answer is always negative. Not always. The reason why this answer is negative, because we have a positive divided by a negative. When the signs are opposite, your answer will always be negative. When the signs are the same, your answer will always be positive. Okay, that goes for multiplying as well as dividing. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Moody. I don't know about all that. So with a negative, all right. Ready for another one? Okay, so even with a negative solution, how can it equal a negative solution? And for it to be all real numbers. I'm not ignoring you, Andy. I'm just asking for an explanation. This one. Why don't we drop the absolute values? Well, we can't go any further because have it as a negative. Look, Cole. So we can't. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm waiting for his thing. Okay. How? Yeah, Lo, I see his comments. That's what I was saying. How? Don't cry. I was asking. How? Okay. Right. And 0 would be that. Yes. We brought them down. Okay. Okay. So we're saying all reals? That's true. Because since it's an absolute value, it will always take the positive of it. Okay. But you can only have that one. But you won't be able to split it up into two different entities. With my math homework. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Al. You're right. Okay. Well, thank you, Andy. I'll make the changes, though. I'll make the change. Yeah, because I was always told that when it's equal to a negative, it's always done. That there's no solution. But I'll make the change. Thank you. Right, with the inequalities. All right, thank you. Right, for the less than. Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, because if you do it with the less than, it definitely won't be true. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. There you go. All right, so let's try the next one. So the absolute value of 3x minus 1 minus 2 is less than or equal to 12. So what should we do first? Good. So we're basically adding the 2 to both sides. So we have an absolute value of 3x minus 1, which is less than or equal to what? Saying x is greater than or equal to 5, Nicole? Let's see. Okay, we got our 14. So now since it's in a positive, so we can split it up into 2. So we have our, write down what you see. So 3x minus 1 is less than or equal to 14. So write down what you see without the absolute value. And the other one is our 3x minus 1, but we're going to flip. So make that greater than or equal to, and we're going to make this negative. Okay. So what do we get for the first inequality? You're saying -5, you think? All right. See. So I'm adding 1. So I have 3x is less than or equal to 15. Okay, now take a look at it. 14 plus 1 gives me 15. Then what? Divide both sides by 3. And since it's a positive 3, that means the inequality sign does not change. So we got our x is less than or equal to positive 5. Okay. All right. So now let's check what's going on the other side. Again, adding 1. So that means we have our 3x is greater than or equal to -14 plus 1. There you go. Thank you, Butterfly Rainbow. There you go, Tamara. Nicole, good. All right. So after we got our -13, then what are we doing on both sides? Good. So divide both sides by 3. And since it's a positive 3, that means we are not changing the direction of the sign. And then you have your -13 divided by 3. Good, Tamara. Tamara, thank you. Aw, hate crying. I'm glad you said divide. So we can either leave it as a fraction, because I think it's like a repeat, yeah. So I like to leave it in its true state. And I know some people like to have with their fractions, but this does have a repeat decimal. I think it was like with the 3's. Ooh, negative. Or Some of you guys that love their mixed numbers. Okay, oops. Put my negative. Okay. There you go. See, you don't have to cry anymore. Oh. The puzzle pieces. Ugh. All right. Okay. Any questions? Because I want to say good night. That's it. No more 10 hours worth of math. That's ridiculous. I got confused by not setting the 14 to negative. Yes. So if anything, you always write what you see. And then the second inequality, you always make it negative. Okay. Oh, thank you, Todd. Okay. So if you like, okay, so that's definitely something that you guys could review in. All right, if you kind of like the structure of this notebook, I actually designed this notebook because I got sick and tired of my kids not knowing how to do their notes, okay? Yes. So when you do it, you're going to do it twice. Let's see if I can get you up here. All right, so when you do it, you also want to do it twice. You want to have the positive representation and the negative representation. When it's an inequality, you want to make sure you flip the inequality sign. All right, and then you're solving for both inequalities. And I forgot to circle my multiple answers. So you can keep it as an improper or as a repeat decimal or has a mixed number. It all depends on what is being offered as answers for those assessments. Okay? All right, you're welcome. Okay, so plenty of these. Just in case you want to know, Audrey's Notes is up and running. So I'm actually selling copies of my notes. This page, this book 3 is actually going to be up for sale by the end of this week, the way things are going. So anything that's dealing with central angles, inscribed angles, little probability, as well as notes, you also could use reminders. It has factor sheets on there, one from all the way up to 200. And then the rules of integers that's sitting right here. Also the most used word problems, words that are used for word problems. Then you have your linear and your quadratics. I've been doing a few of these as well. I might want to do like a quick refresher, maybe a little bit later, not tonight, on some of the linear components. But like I said, most of my lives, if not all of my lives, are available on YouTube. So I have them all there for you, as well as you got your area sector, arc length, your volume, your surface area, and if you ever need a little extra help, unit circle. So all of it is available. This is the notebooks. You can get your own. On Amazon, you can just have to tap my picture for my profile, go to the website, and you'll see the Ultimate Math Notebooks, as well as Audrey's Notes, so you can get your copy. And what I did was, which you'll see a video soon, is I put a QR code somewhere on the page that takes you directly to the live that is connected to the notes, so you don't have to go running around and searching. All right? So stay on the lookout for more publications about Audrey's Notes. We also have math notes. If you are interested in any tutoring, if you're currently in a class and you're getting ready for your finals, hey, let me know. If you are maybe a high school senior or a high school student that's trying to catch up and you need some assistance, hey, pass my word on. Okay? All right. You take it tomorrow? Well, take your time with it. Okay? Process of elimination is the key. You're not going to sit at home and try to memorize every formula. Okay? So I don't want to say if you don't know it by now, then you're not going to know it. But there might be some things that might spark your idea as you're taking the test. And just take your time with it. Okay? All right? Try to work on it step by step. Alrighty. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I know it's late. I am done. I can't even say like I'm burnt out. I am crispy. That's about it. So if you have any questions whatsoever, just reach out. Send me a message. Okay? You guys can follow me. I will be on, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. So I'll be on at 9:30. My regular scheduled time on Thursday. So 9:30 on Thursday, 1 o'clock on Friday, 8:30 on Saturday and Sunday. And all of that is Eastern Standard Time in ZPM. All right. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye.